Okay, Colin, this is Pastor Dell, and right now I'm just videoing the MobileCast unit. You will see off to the left is the monitor. It's just a small unit. That's actually what the broadcast will be showing. On the center of the console, on the screen, you will see on the left, the image has a red surround. On the right, it has a green surround. Whatever image is surrounded by red is the one that's visible. If we back up, you'll see that's the case. The one surrounded by red is visible on the monitor. The one that is surrounded by green is waiting to be seen, and will be seen when we cut to it as a fade, like this. So we just cut to that one, and now you'll see that one on the screen is red. Up in the upper right quadrant. The upper left quadrant is green. I back the slider down again, and now it's shifted to the other image. Both of those are images of the piano. When we're looking down at to the left of my hand, you will see one button that is red. That is for camera number 1, is what's lit there right now. The second button is green. That's camera number 2. Our red camera, or rather camera number 1 is the back camera. Camera number 2 is the one on the right side of the sanctuary. Just as you see those lights here, with camera 1 being red, if I go up to the camera itself, you will see at the top of it, right at the center, is a red light. If I go to the other camera, which is camera number 2 right now, and I go up to where the camera is, you will see, if you can, up there, the camera right in the middle of the screen is green. That means that's the waiting camera. That's the one in the background for right now. I'm going to show you again the basics of the layout. The buttons here on the left, basically you don't have to change those. You can, but you don't have to. You can leave the upper row at number 1 camera, the lower row at number 2 camera. You push buttons 3 and 4 and nothing will show. You push button black and that will show when that line or channel is lit. Off to the right now, you will see 3 rows. If I pull in close, they're showing as channel A, channel B is with the red, and channel C. This unit can handle 3 cameras. We only have 2, so A and B are the only ones that are active. Each one of those is set with 4 scenes. So for right now, I'm going to go back to channel A. You see that's now lit. I pushed that. Channel A is also the one that is up on the screen. Right now, number 4 is lit there. If I push number 3, you see my finger there, that image is going to change to the next scene. It just did. It moved to the pulpit. If I press number 2 there, now that moved to the worship center, and if I press number 1, you'll see again down there, that moved to what we're going to call the choir. It's a back off of the choir, so they can be seen. So those buttons, when you push those, they actually change, and you'll see that's changing in real time. That's not really what we want to do. We want to change the scenes in the background. So now you've seen all the scenes. I'll go back to number 1 on both of these. So now I'm on number 1 in channel 2. And as soon as I press that scene, it shifts. You see it shifts lines? So if I press scene 1 of channel 2, now it's triggering channel 2. If I press scene 1 on channel 1, it's triggering channel 1. Neither one is changing because I'm going back and forth between them. But if I want to change channel 2, I'm in image number 1. I'm going to go to image number 2, and you'll see a change on the big screen, but not on the little one. See that move came? Now I'm going to take this slider, and I'm going to slide that up, and now it's gone to that image. I'm going to do the same thing with the first channel. See, I'm going to scene 2. That changed, but not on the big screen, but now I'm going to fade to it, and now we see it. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. I'm going to go through these again. I'm going to go to number 3. You see I just lit number 3. It moved, but not on the monitor. Now we're fading to the congregation. I'm going to do number 3. This is back to the pulpit on channel 1, and now I'm fading to the pulpit. I'm going to go to the final channel, scene 4, which in scene 4, that goes to the piano. We don't see it happening, but we just slide. Now we see that. And if we want the other angle of the piano, which is from the side, we use the slider to go to it. So those are the basic controls. Tracy will be here, and the other thing that we'll be pressing when we go up to start this unit will be 2 buttons here. It's hard to focus on them right now. One says record, one says stream. We'll start those buttons at the beginning of the service, and then you can ignore them for the rest of the time. These other central buttons you can also ignore. Basically, we want this one on 1, want this one on 2. And then you switch between your 4 scenes. Whatever happens to be on green, that's the one that you switch. So we're now in green over here. That's number 2, and that's number 2 here, or B. Now I switch to another scene. You'll see it go. And now I use the slider to move. There is also a button by the slider. You look there, that one's called auto. Instead of using the slider, you can push the button. Watch, it will fade automatically from one to the next in a preset time. Hit it again, fades in a preset time. Below it, there's a button called cut. That will go immediately from one to the other. I hit cut, it just jumped to the other picture. I hit cut again, just jump to the other picture. If I'm choosing to fade part way, I can see both images at the same time. They're kind of mingled right now on the monitor. That's more visible in another place, but that's basically how the unit works. So again, you have a central slider that allows you to move between scenes. On the left side, you have scene 1, or rather number 1, which is the visible number. We have that as red right now. And number 2, so you have those 2 channels basically operating the 2 cameras. Off to the right, we have the scene choices. We have 4 choices under each channel. If we move around those, they jump. You can see them jump on the monitor. I have those choices written out for you. If I go back and use them on number 2, now I'm jumping between those, and you see them, they're not changing on the monitor because that's not the one that we have visible with the slider, because camera number 2 is in green. When I slide the slider up, camera 2 becomes red. See that? Camera 2 became red, camera 1 is green. I'm going to do it again. Watch this slide. Bring it down. Now camera 2 is green, camera 1 is red. So these control here your choices. And if, let's say I want to go, you don't have to do this, but instead of to 1, I want to go to black, I press that and now watch this fade out to black. That's what it just did. And then it can fade back in to whatever the scene was. In this case, we'll fade it back to the side shot for the choir. All right, I'm going to stop with that, Colin. Hopefully that will be some help to you. At least raise questions for you for Sunday morning. I'm going to make this available to you to take a look. Hopefully it will be of use. Thanks so much. We'll have it for others as well, a little bit of a tutorial. Thank you.